Greetings, people. We're going to go over some basic stuff today that seems obvious and was explained to me as a young child by my grandparents and my parents, but is no longer being explained to the youth of America. They have an untrue expectation for rights. The fact of the matter is you don't have a lot of the rights the left tells you have a right to, and you never will have those rights. And if you think you do, then you're just deluding yourself. Let's cover first things first. First of all, Congress doesn't grant rights. God grants rights. That's why the Constitution spells it out that way. And in the Constitution, you're guaranteed the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's it. End of story. Nothing else. You are not granted the right to heat, food, medicine, shelter, clean water, or anything else for that matter. You have the right to be born unless you're a liberal and take the view that you can kill the unborn child in the womb. So right away they're attacking your right to life. Okay. Again, nobody owes you a thing. Not a fucking thing. Nobody. You need to understand that if you don't support yourself, it's nobody else's job to support you. That's why your parents tell you to get an education, not so you can argue with them about the latest socialist policies that you think we should enact because that's what your professor told you. They're telling you that because they want you to be able to support yourself and pursue your own dreams at your own speed, on your own time, away from them, and on your own. Because basically, we don't want to be burdened with our children. Just a fact. Now, kids need help. They'll circle back. Most parents will help them. But at the end of the day, we raise you to be self-supporting. Not drones. We want you to think, and we want you to handle your own shit. In most countries, you have whatever rights they decide you have at that particular moment in time. In our country, your rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are protected by the Constitution, which is the only document in the world that limits the scope of what the government can do. Now, the left is constantly pushing those limits because they want the government to be involved in everything. Funny thing about the left, your most basic rights, which is your right to life, they're pretty ambivalent about. They're okay with ending the life of an unborn child because he's absolutely defenseless and not on the voter rolls yet. And on the other hand, they're not in favor of you being able to defend yourself in a life or death situation. They want you, again, to be totally dependent on the government. And that's all great. But when government breaks down, and it does, read history books, a lot of people say that they don't understand when I make this argument why you should be responsible for your own self-defense because, you know, a cop is only minutes away. Well, generally in a life or death situation, you have seconds. So they'll be there and they'll identify where your body fell and they'll investigate it and they'll probably the government will probably catch the guy that killed you, but that's not going to help you or your family. And yes, you may get justice, but wouldn't you rather be alive and go get a sundae with your kids instead of justice for your dead body? And I mean, sure, it may make everybody feel better at the end of the day that they got the perpetrator, but for you, kind of a moot point. The fact is, you need to understand that in this world, you have to depend on you, your extended family, and your friends. That's it. At the end of the day, the government shouldn't and can't really help you. If you happen to be in a government program temporarily, I understand. I mean, obviously our veterans have earned the payback that they've earned. I mean, they put their lives on the line, so all of us, so that I can rant on this ridiculous video, and they deserve to be paid back. But there's a lot of people that take a lot of advantage. A lot of advantage. So let's just get it through our heads, kids. You don't have a right to shit. Nobody cares about you. You are not a special snowflake. You're just another Tom, Dick, or Harry. And if you can provide for yourself, that's great. But please don't ask me to provide for you. Till next time. Have a good